Charles Woodson, man. My man, Hall of Famer.
Great to see you, man.
Great to see you. What do you got going now, man? I mean, you're selling Cabernet still?
Still selling Cab, selling whiskey.
What's the brands now? So
Intercept now.
Intercept?
The wine is Intercept. We have a Cab, Pinot, Red Blend, Chardonnay, and then I have whiskey.
Whiskey.
So Woodson whiskey.
Yeah.
So, I keep my...
Number 24 on the bottle
busy.
still?
No 24 on the bottle, man. I got away from the 24, so it's just Intercept for the wine.
Okay.
And then the whiskey is just a big W.
And then you're in the saddle with the Cleveland Browns, huh?
No, well, it didn't happen because of the brands.
Oh, really?
And yep, and they wanted me to take my name off of everything, the NFL wise, and I couldn't do it. So.
Really?
Yeah, I had to keep my name as a part of.
I keep
my
tracks
product.
on you. I never got too close to you because you.
Well, I didn't let you. I was
a hard guy. You were a hard guy. You were a harder
Heisman.
guy to coach back in '98 and '99. But
probably so.
Now, what's TCL?
TCL is the official television partner of the NFL, and they are the best. They continue to raise the bar. Better quality. Better brightness, contrast. They want to make you feel like you're in the game without being at the game, Coach. Yep.
So what's your role with that?
So I've been working with TCL for the past, I want to say 3 or 4 years. So, I guess sort of an ambassador, if you will.
Okay.
So every year I go out to Vegas and part of their big CES event where they're showing all of their different products. They do more than just televisions now.
That's great, man.
Projector screens and HVAC systems if you want it. Yeah. So TCL they're the best.
You played 18 years, man.
18
years, 11 with the Raiders. We went to the Coliseum yesterday.
Did you?
Toured it.
How was that, man?
It was emotional for me.
Yeah, bring back some memories.
The walls talk.
Yep.
I can still hear the cleats on those.
Man, it was nothing like that Coliseum, man.
Yeah. But you play 18 years and the music stops.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players I know, a lot of coaches have a hard time when football's over.
Yep.
Any advice you have to making it transitioning when the music stops?
I was very fortunate that when I retired, I went right into television, and it was never a thought of mine to go into television. But the one thing I would say to players is that the reason why some of the networks were looking at me is it was because of the way I talked to the media after the games. Win, lose, or draw. Tell them the real. Have a little personality, if you will, but be straightforward and talk about the game in ways that however you feel. And the network saw that and they said, hey, he might be a guy that's great for television. So my thing to the players now is you never know who's watching, when they're watching, so you kind of always got to be on your P's and Q's and just be yourself. So for me, man, going into television really helped me because I didn't have to worry about that dead period after I retired. So if there is something that you're interested in, then start diving into it now so that when the time comes, when that music does stop, then you can pick up and have something to take a little bit of your time.
I got to tell everybody out there, you were a hard guy to coach back in the day. 98, 99, a young Charles Woodson. He was not as seasoned as he was when he was a Packer.
Yeah,
but I'm finding out now you're a coach yourself.
Man, how about that?
I would love to see this. And where is it, Lake Nona or something?
Lake Nona High School,
and
man.
Who's your starting safety?
Well, man, he has the same name as me.
Yeah, how's that going?
I'm having a great deal of fun, man. This will be my 3rd year, so I've been doing it the past 2. And, it was hard at first because, how kids are, man. They don't want to listen to the parents, And so I'll be giving them this advice on different things, and he'd be shrugging me off, But being able to be out there and actually, coaching him and the other kids and being able to impart that knowledge on him, he finally came around. So it's been fun, man.
So Charles Jr., what is he, a junior now? Is he going to be
a junior? Yeah, he's a junior.
And we're going to have to get down there, Jake.
Yeah.
And mic him up.
Yeah, come check me out.
I'm going to get after his ass. What kind of coverage is that, man?
Come check me out,
And then
man.
how old is Chase now?
Chase is just turned, Chase is 15.
15?
Chase
is he
15.
Playing football too?
Yeah. He hurt his shoulder last year, so he ended up missing the season. But, he's ready to get back out there.
I know you're busy, but I got to ask some things here. I want to start with Michigan real quick.
Yeah.
You're from Fremont, Ross.
Yep.
Ohio kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Fremont.
Yep.
How the hell did you just tell fans? Why would you ever leave Ohio to go to Michigan?
You know what? I always tell this story, or I've told it a million times. My older brother was a big Michigan fan, fell in love with that winged helmet,
Really?
and he was, in my house, of course you watch television and players on television, but he was the man.
Mm-hmm.
And so he liked Michigan, and I started following Michigan. And so, as it pertains to the rivalry, if you're a fan of one, and you grow up in that region, you ain't a fan of the other.
Yeah, it's hatred.
And that's really just the way it was. And so, if I knew if I had the opportunity to go to Michigan, then that was going to be where I went. So that's how I ended up.
Our boss
driving
here,
over that
our
border.
boss Dave Portnoy is no bigger.
Man,
no bigger Michigan fan. What's your
at
feeling about the state of Michigan right now, football, with the transition and the controversial stuff that happened?
I think I think that we came out better than expected. I think with what happened, with Sharon and the program, towards the end of that year was, something that nobody, well, maybe some people up there foresaw it, but none of us, saw this coming. But I think that Ward Emanuel did a great job of taking his time and, kind of sifting through the weeds and seeing, what we were going to do. And then all of a sudden, Whittingham out of Utah, he's leaving that program, and the timing of it couldn't have been better. But I thought what he did was retaining players. We needed to do that. He did that. He retained the quarterback. He did that. Players in the portal, did a great job of getting some guys out of the portal. And then he got some guys to flip. You get a few guys to flip here that you were recruiting at the other place and bring them on to Michigan. So, man, I think we stand here now better than expected and looking forward to.
So all the alumni,
future.
you guys, the ex-players, you guys are pleased.
Very pleased.
Good.
Very pleased. We're happy about it. So
let's go back to Michigan.
Yeah.
Wolverines about 1996, 1995, that era.
Mm-hmm.
I got the coach Scott Dreisbach when I was with the
Oh,
Raiders.
Scott, yeah.
Yeah, I got the coach Brian Greasy.
No doubt.
You guys had another quarterback there for 3 years.
Young guy.
His name was Tom something,
Yeah.
and the guy never really got to play.
No, he didn't, man.
So I just want you to tell fans out there, why wouldn't Tom Brady play at Michigan if he can be the GOAT?
Because he was young. We came in together in '95, but he was behind Dreisbach, who was the man.
Yeah.
And then Greasy was sitting there behind him. And so Brady, he really was just a young guy, in the mix. And, he could play, but he wasn't going to start over Dreisbach. He wasn't going to start over Greasy. But the thing is, after that first 3 years, I leave, Greasy's gone. And I think Dreisbach might have still been around, but, they didn't just hand the keys to Brady. There was another recruit that they were bringing in, Drew Henson, and they kind of promised him, hey, man, you're going to play a little bit too. And I think, that's where that chip on old Brady's shoulder really kicked in. And so then, he didn't get the full reins. But then, once he got it, when he got to the pros, it was over.
Let's fast forward to New England. That snow night. My last game with the Raiders.
How about that?
Yeah, I never really talked to anybody about it publicly, the Tuck rule.
Yeah.
Because they spelled it wrong. It's not a T in front of the UCK. It's a different letter. That was the worst. That was the worst call in NFL history.
I agree.
But I want you to reenact the play. What you remember about the huddle call defensively. We brought a blitz.
Yeah, you brought. Do you
remember the name of the call? Do you remember what you did on the play? Can you describe it?
I forget the name of the call. But I believe that I was lined up wide to where I wasn't accounted for with the protection for the line. But the interesting part about that, to go back, is before the play, Eric Allen is just in a little, ear drop from their sideline, and he can kind of hear what they're planning on doing. And so he comes back to the huddle, and he's like, hey, man, they're going to throw this slant. I'm picking it off, and I'm going to the house. And so I'm lined up a little bit wider, and the ball is snapped. And sure enough, Brady goes to throw this slant, and Eric Allen is sitting right there waiting for it. He has to bring the thing back down. And so while I'm on this blitz, I see it. I'm like, we got him. We got him. And hit him. Beaker jumps on this ball, and we are going to the next round. And the game's over. We're
Game's over.
gonna run the clock out.
The rule on the field was a fumble. You can't overturn that play.
The rules are fumble. We're going on to the next round, and we're feeling good. And the one thing I remember is that it seemed like it took forever for that call to come down, and that's when everybody on our sideline was like, "We're about to get screwed." I remember that, and sure enough, we got screwed.
Great players. Eric Allen just went in the Hall of Fame. That's the
Just
last
went in the
game
Hall.
he ever played. Steve Wisniewski, 9 Pro Bowls. That's the last game he ever played. William Thomas.
Man.
That was the last game they ever played. That's the memory they have of their last game. That was my last game as a Raider.
As a Raider. And then you get come on, man. Traded?
Traded.
I remember getting that call or somebody calling me and said, "Hey man, your coach got traded." And I was like, "Dude, you can't trade coaches." Sure enough, Cruz got traded. I want to know about that scenario.
I didn't know I didn't know you could trade a coach either. All I know is I had a contract. I agreed to the contract. But when the contract came to me to sign, that wasn't what we agreed on. So my agent got involved, Bob Lamont, and said he ain't signing that. And then I got a call at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and my phone only rang at 2 o'clock in the morning when one guy is calling.
One person.
It was Al Davis.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you want to go to Tampa Bay? Is that what you want to do?" I said, "Well, I guess I do, because I don't have a contract."
Oh, my God.
So then the fax machine started rolling, and I was traded. I didn't know the compensation was what it was, because it hurt us as a Buccaneer. But anyways,
man,
we had it rolling, didn't we?
We were on our way, man.
Gruden Goes Long is presented to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Sign up using promo code Gruden. The crown is yours. Now back to the interview. I want you to tell some young players out there, because the young Charles Woodson, some of the young guys that are coming into the league, you had a Heisman Trophy, a national title. You were bigger than most guys. And I surrounded you with Andre Rison.
Ooh, my guy.
Charlie Garner.
I
used to see you show up at the hotel, and I'd say, "Holy shit." I'd tell Rison, I say, "You stay away from him." But I want you to recollect on some of the difficulties that are out there as a young, big-time player in the focal point of every conversation. What was that like?
Man, you know what? It was a lot of different things. You know, for one, it was fun because, you know, you get drafted. You know, that's what you've been working your whole life for. But then you get drafted to a place like the Raiders. The one thing about the Raiders, there's a great, you know, tradition. And so there's, you know, people are looking at you to uphold those certain traditions. And so there's a lot of eyes on you. And so for me, I was young, you know, plenty of money. And I played as hard on the field as I did, you know what I'm saying,
And
off
the Raiders
the field.
had a reputation of being just as good off the field as on the field.
And no doubt. And so, you know, if you're going to do that, then you do have to go perform as well. But, you know, you live and you learn. You know, I went through some things there, you know, in terms of, you know, getting in a little trouble here, a little trouble there. And I'm very fortunate. I always tell players now, man, I hope you make it to the other side. And the other side is, you know, being able to, you know, for me to get to 18 years after, you know, starting out, you know, with some questionable things happening, is a blessing. And so the guys have to go through it, because you got to go through your own story and able to, in order to tell your story when it's all said and done. But I just hope you get to the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know, Fremont personnel, Jake, put that catch he had on there. When you were playing, you wanted to play both ways,
Man,
like Travis Hunter.
I did.
You did it at Michigan. I can do it. Gruden, let me play. You were not happy with me.
I was not, man.
Look at
that burst. Look at that burst.
Run it back, Jake.
I needed the ball. I needed the ball in my hand.
It was a freaking hitch, man.
I needed but look what I did with the hitch. Look what I did with the hitch, though.
Yeah, he gained 17 yards. I said, shit, maybe we'll throw him another hitch.
Come on, man.
Look at this.
Give me that thing.
Watch this.
Put him to sleep. Go up the sideline. Ooh, I'm out of there.
You were like Dion before Dion right there.
Man, come on, man. Coach, why didn't you give me more plays?
Well, here's the problem. When we asked you to block, all you would do is go in there and talk shit to all your friends on defense.
What are you talking about?
We had a fake reverse. I threw you a go route against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. But I used to tell everybody, I'm only going to let Woodson play offense if he practices better. You remember that?
But this is the problem, though.
Yeah.
If you would have let me play offense, then it would have kept me focused, and I would have gave you everything you wanted in practice. But you left me out there dangling, man, with one play.
But
one
go
catch.
back seriously. All the talk of Travis Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
who wins the Heisman, he's compared to you from the standpoint they play both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for him to play both ways in the NFL?
I think that it's possible in terms of if you want to put him out there, play here, play there, but not like he did in college. Your body's not gonna hold up. If he was to try to do that in the NFL, he'll age in dog years, and it'll be over before he knows it. So I think he's such a phenomenal athlete. He's a guy that I feel like you do want the ball in his hands. Put him out there on offense, man, and let him play wide receiver. And if you have a player or two or something you want to throw him on defense, fine.
Yeah.
But let him go out there and be an athlete on the offensive side of the ball, and I think you'll get the most out of him.
We won our Super Bowl by getting turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense scored 9 touchdowns the year we won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And nobody got more turnovers than you did. You talk about a ball magnet.
Yeah.
I think you had, 65 interceptions,
Yep.
20 forced fumbles, or 20 sacks, 40 forced fumbles. Maybe give me 2 or 3 just top of mind reasons or things that allows you to do that. What's different about your game than everybody else's?
One, in terms of fumbles, is to me, I feel like very early in my life, I understood that the most important thing on the field was the damn football. Go get the football. And then I found out early that if you attack the football and it becomes just a little bit loose in the arms of the person who's running with the football, you're going to get the tackle as well. And so very early on, before they talked about this peanut punch and all that stuff, I was slapping at the football and attacking the tackle through the football. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I caused so many fumbles the way I did. In terms of the interceptions, really just understanding, I feel like I had great play recall in terms of what I saw on film and then what happened during the game, what happens during the game. And if you're going to show me the same thing twice, then you're going to be in trouble. But if you line up in something that I saw on film and I recognize it right away, I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm going to go pick the ball off. And so then you got to have the confidence to do it. A lot of guys watch it on film, but then when they get on the field, they hesitate. If you hesitate for a second, pass breakup, or you're going to make a tackle. Pass breakups are great, but they don't get you into the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. You got to go get the ball. So I think that's really it, man. Just really understanding the game, what people are trying to do to you, trusting what you see.
And you were really
going out and make a play.
Guy. I mean, you would go out there and practice. I know my first 4 years, I would see you cover Tim Brown in practice.
Yeah.
Then I'd see you cover Risen.
Yeah.
Then we bring in Jerry Rice, and you're covering him. And you probably are thinking, shit, if I could cover these guys, I'll cover anybody they got.
You used to call me the sheriff. Before you started calling Peyton the sheriff, you used to call me the sheriff. You know what I'm saying?
I did, man. I did. I love coaching
you gave a guy my nickname. What is that?
Put that interception on he got against me in the Super Bowl. I want to go back when we went head-to-head in Super Bowl 37. Man. I want to tell you about this interception you got. We ran a double move with McCardle, 58 Delta. I said, we're running a double move. And I thought we had you.
You did.
But our quarterback got hit right as he threw the ball, and you intercept the ball. And I go, son of a bitch, not that guy. And you're on my sideline. I wanted to kick you right there.
But you know what's interesting about that is you used to always tell me when we were with the race, if I ever coach against you, I'd double move your ass all day.
First third down.
That, yeah. And you had me. I had a broken leg.
I know that.
You knew
That's
that
why
too.
we got you in the red zone.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He attacked my weakness.
Yeah.
This the guy, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But I remember you used to always say that, man. If I coach against you, was I'd double move you all day. And you had me because I jumped it.
Yeah. The last thing I got to tell you is when that initial time you were with the Raiders, when it ended that first time, you were not in a great place.
No.
You were hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You were not a Hall of Fame player at that point. And you were looking for a place to go. The Raiders weren't bringing you back.
Nope.
And we flew you to Tampa. And I had you sit with Monty Kiffin and a couple of my defensive coaches. And they were worried about handling you.
Yeah.
Because they call the coaches in Oakland and they're, I don't know.
Yeah.
You go to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you meet Al Harris and Nick Collins. And you guys
Yep.
had a real close group.
No doubt.
And Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator, he reinvented you.
Yep.
And you reinvented yourself
Yep.
in that small town in Green Bay. I
Yep.
just want to hear about how that happened.
Yeah, so I get to Green Bay, and I thought I was coming to Tampa.
Yeah.
That's where I thought I was coming. So when I got to Green Bay, I was really reluctant to go there. But fortunately, like you just mentioned, I had an Al Harris there, had a Nick Collins who was a younger player, and then a few other young players came in, Tremont Williams, Sam Shields eventually. And so we had really, really good players in our secondary, and we competed a lot. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, first couple of years was, I think coordinator was Bob Sanders, but then Don Capers came in with the 3-4 defense. And in that defense, it allowed me to do different things. It allowed me to be a football player because for me, I just like to be on the field anywhere. And so if you stick me out here on the left side or the right, left or right side,
they just throw away
it's
from
fine, but it's like, to me, that's not football for me. And so with this defense, it allowed me to blitz, it allowed me to disguise. At times I would guard the best receiver. Sometimes I'd be at the nickel. Sometimes I'd be at safety. And that's what I was all about.
They tapped into your aptitude and your preparation.
That's why you should have played me more on offense. You would have tapped into that.
Yeah. I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. I'm not here to say I'm perfect. Fuck. I mean.
Yeah, but that's what that defense did for me. It allowed me to be the guy that was at Fremont Ross. Mm-hmm. That's what it allowed me to do. Be that guy.
Last thing I say is the Raiders, man.
Yeah.
You win the Heisman. You're the Rookie of the Year. You got a Super Bowl. Only guy I know that did that was Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
But the Raiders were 3-14. Looks like we're getting a new offensive head coach.
Yep.
What's your take on the silver and black, and what's your involvement with the Raiders as we sit today?
Yeah, well, I sit with Mark, during the games a couple times a year, and we'll talk things over. Now we got a chance to talk towards the end of the season. The last game at home, and I gave him my thoughts. Keith Kubiak was a name that came up, and with the Raiders, man, I think that when you look at where we are right now, 3-14, is not just about last year. The Raiders have to do a better job of taking advantage of the positions that they've been in the last 20 years. We've had top 5 picks, top 10 picks, and they haven't always been the greatest picks. And so we end up, kicking ourselves because we don't get the best players in the draft. I think that bringing in, if Kubiak is what I'm hearing, if he's the guy, we got to take advantage of the talent that we have. You got 2 good tight ends. One of them could be the best tight end in football. Genty, I was just mentioning earlier, he got 1,000 yards, and I don't know if he got 1 block last year, from the offensive line. So we got to find a signal caller. Got to get a guy that can, facilitate the ball. And so the Raiders have to get back because it's sad to start off a season last year. You go on the road, you beat the Patriots, and you're like, oh man, okay. And all of a sudden we don't win another game for 2 months or so, whatever it is. So we need the Raiders to get back and get back into that conversation. And so I'm hoping that happens.
I'm happy for your success, man.
Man.
That's
Appreciate
great
it, man.
To see
Yeah, man.
Will you stand up? Show me that stance, man.
What stance you want, man?
I want to see you're playing a right corner. You're in bump and run. You're covering Marvin Harrison. I got it back at the office. I got some of the greatest footage of just you. I want to see your stance, bump and run. Al Davis want to see Willie Brown. Oh, look at this. Where's he got to look at you? Can he look at you? Yeah, that's good. Let me see it.
Well, man, here, you good? Here, I'm down, man. I'm ready.
You can't even bend your knees like you used to.
I can bend a little bit. I didn't stretch.
But if the ball's inside, I'm the quarterback, and you're playing the nickel. I want you to show these people where your eyes were when you were blitzing. Fuck, you weren't looking in here.
Sometimes I look in there. Sometimes I look at the receiver. It depends. I played it off sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you know when I was coming?
What's your most memorable play that you remember? You're most proud of? Anything like, fuck, man, Anything? Any play that you made that you remember more than others? In terms of being your favorite? Like, that's a great play.
Probably my last year. In
Look, you're playing safety.
in Oakland.
You were hurtling over dead bodies to make tackles.
That's one of the plays. And so,
Against Jacksonville.
No, well, that was Maurice Jones-Drew. That's one of the plays. But it was a play against the Broncos. Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas ran this deep sail route, if you will. And I came over, eliminated my threats on this side because there's nobody over here. So I know he's going. I ran, jumped, catch the ball, land on one of my teammates, inbounds. Great play, but I was 39 years old.
I love you, man.
My man.